Alright, so welcome to part, well, it isn't really a part, it's part 2.5, because, yeah, the old part had both variables, functions, and properties only in one, but I decided to split this into a separate video. So, yeah, today we're going to learn about functions and returning, as well as parameters and the arguments. So, let's get started. So, functions. I guess they have a similar purpose to variables in some ways, but it's basically to stop repeating scripts. Okay, sorry about that. So, to make a function, actually, I'm gonna make a variable for the part real quick. So, where do we start part? So, to make a function, you do local, you type in function, and now the function name. So, example. Now we put two parentheses to declare that it's a function, pretty much, and an end, and you put an end at the end. You can also do local example equals function. This is the exact same thing as this, and you can call them both the same way. This is actually a variable that's set to a function, and this is like, so when you call this variable, it kind of calls the function. It's a little bit more advanced, I'd say, so let's stick to this. So we can put in print here for an example. This is an example. So actually, if you run this, nothing will happen, because functions, you actually have to call them. So this is just declaring the function, it won't call it. To call a function, you type out or you reference the function name and put two parentheses here. So now if you run it, this is an example run. So you can kind of see how this can become useful. Well, you can't right now because so yeah. You can see how you can stop repeating code with this, right? So actually, I can't think of a good example. So yeah, we made a function named example, and we added something inside the function that will print something, and then we called it. Let's make something useful with this, with arguments and parameters. So an argument is some information that you can send over to this script, and then it can retrieve it as a parameter and use it. So let me show an example. So let's send over our part here, yeah, and let's retrieve it here. Actually, part, yeah, okay. Part parameter. I'll show you why you should do this instead of another option later. So now we can like print the part parameter dot name, and let's also change the color of it. Part parameter dot brick color equals brick color dot. I'll do brick color dot random. So brick color dot random pretty much chooses a random brick color. So if we run it, you can see it's dark green. It's gonna be different every time. So yeah, we're sending over the part into the function. So the function gets the actual part and it can modify it any way it wants. Now, you might think, why can't we just ignore part? I mean, you can do this. You need to know when to use functions, because, I mean, we could just delete the entire function and leave this line. But let's say we have 5 parts. Now, for this, you will actually already be using loops, which we will learn in the next part, I think. Actually, no, next part is if statements, I think. So this is unanchored, so they will glitch out. So now we will need to so let's say we didn't have this example here. Let me make some variables here real quick. this will be better with tables, which we will also learn later. So I'm gonna rename these real quick. For the experienced scripters, I'm just using the unpractical way right now because we're not learning that right now. So 1, 2, actually start from the bottom, 5, 4, 3. So we have all of our parameters. Oops, this is 4, this is 5, 3. So now we will have to do all of this. Okay, so you see, we will have to do it for each line. And this isn't even counting in if you want to change other properties of the part. So if you want to do materials, all of this, it will double. If you wanted to change transparency, it will double. If you wanted to change anchored, it will double. So let me show you how we can avoid so many lines with a simple function. So local function modify part. We want our part in here. Okay, so we have our part here. So let's call this function modify part 1. So let's see what we want to change about our part. So part dot brick color equals brick color dot random. Let's see, let's change the material as well. So part dot material equals enum dot material dot neon. Let's change yeah, okay, so this will be it. So it will be 10 lines if we didn't have this function, but instead we can cut in half those lines, so I only have 5 lines. Obviously this will still be better with loops, which we will learn very soon. They're very cool. So let's call this for each part. Okay, let's run it. As you can see, all 5 parts got their properties assigned. So you can see how this can become more useful and useful the more you think about it, and the more you learn about loops and instances and stuff, the more you will see how useful these are. Roblox actually has built-in functions as well, which we will learn as well. But anyways, let's talk about returning. So I'm gonna just delete all of this and make a, yeah, I'm gonna just make a local number here. So returning, let's make a function really quick. So local function, I'll call it convert to meters, and this will take in stud. So we'll convert studs to meters. I'm not sure what the math was for that. I think that's times 0.28. Yeah, I think it's 0.28. So okay, returning, let me think. I'll do like depth. So returning, basically, let me call this function real quick. So convert to meters. So let's say you want to turn 100 studs into meters. So returning is pretty much to send over information to the function. The function does some stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be math, and it gives you something back. So we can assign this function here. So we can pretty much okay, how to explain this? So we can call this function, and it could be like a lot of math, so like 15 lines of math. So instead of doing it every single time, we can have a function for it, and it gives us the number. So it's kind of like the last example, but in reverse. No. So yeah, let me show you an example. So we can do local meters equals studs times 0.28. I'll do 0.28. It's gonna be the same thing. So now to return something, you do return meters. Now we can print depth as well. Like if you have a submarine and it's like the depth meter, you can use this. So if you run it, we get Okay, I kind of messed up. That's like 5 or 3 meters. Okay, yeah, I don't know how. Okay, I just googled. It's actually reverse, so it's 0.28 times studs. So this will convert 3 meters to, yeah, it will convert 3 studs into meters. Obviously, you'll want to like round this up or something. So I'll do like 832 studs. That's 232 meters. So you can see how returning can be useful. Now, when I was learning returning, I couldn't understand it. It just kind of eventually clicked in my brain. So I'll try to, I can't think of something to give an example as. So yeah, returning. So we can call so pretty much this variable will be set to whatever this here is. So convert to meters, you can pretty much ignore this and imagine it as this, whatever is after return. So you can imagine depth as being meters. That seems like a good way to understand it, I guess. So yeah, you can imagine depth being set to whatever return is. So we actually don't even have to set it to a variable. We can just print convert to meters 832, because remember, this will be set to whatever it returns. So it will be the exact same output. And we don't even have to set it to a variable. We can just copy this, paste it here, delete this, and boom. We still get the same answer. So yeah. So try to imagine, try to like replace this text here with whatever this returns. That's how I kind of understood it. So that's functions and returning. And the daily challenge for today, not for today, I already did one for today, but yeah, the daily challenge for this video is to, before I give the daily challenge, I just wanted to show one more thing. Local function example. You actually can send over multiple arguments and parameters. I mean, you can send over multiple arguments. So I'll make a quick simple script here. Local number 1 equals, and then local number 2 equals. So yeah, you can actually send over multiple arguments into your function. So number 1, number 2. So let's return. So yeah, to send over multiple arguments, you send over one, put a comma in between, and send over the second. And you do the same in the parameters. So a, b, we can return a times b to the power of 2. Sure, why not? To the power of a. Yeah, to the power of a. So if you run this, it will print a big number. Or we can just, return a plus b. It will return 102.898.339. Yeah, so just wanted to show you that real quick, that you can send over multiple arguments and parameters. So anyways, yeah, so the challenge is gonna be, so your challenge is to have a ball. It changes color every 5 seconds and its position gets teleported somewhere in the sky. I myself made a ramp and it has to spawn in the same spot every time. And yeah, so it has to spawn in the sky and it has to change color every single time. So you must have a variable for the ball and spawn location as well, so it can be easily changed for any object. So yeah, just putting some restrictions on there, but yeah, it end result should look like something like this. As you can see, the ball rolls down, the momentum keeps going on. Okay, that's the 4th time, I think. That should, yeah, this should be the last time, I think. Oh, nope, this is the last time. So yeah, 5 times every 5 seconds it goes back. So I'm gonna show you the solution now. Oops. So yeah, so I have 17 lines in total. I couldn't think of a good challenge that you can't really bypass, but your final score will be based on after you delete the white spaces. So I got 15. Obviously I could remove these. Yeah, I could remove those. So wait, 15. I'm not sure if it's shorter doing it like this. So okay, 15. Let me see. Let me see real quick. So oops. Okay, I'll change the position like this. I added the comments as well, so you can scroll back if you want to see how everything works. So I had 15 lines. God, this is so messy. Oh, well, I got 1 line shorter without using a function, but I mean, it's pretty messy, so, but yeah, I couldn't think of a good challenge. Spare me on this, okay? Good job if you did use functions and your script was readable. So yeah, I do prefer this myself. Much more readable. I think readable is more important than how short your script is, but I try to incorporate both into my writing style, so short and readable. So yeah, actually I think I could have done dash.wait here. No, I don't. No, never mind that. So yeah, this is the challenge. Goodbye. Next video is going about if statements. I am 60% sure. So yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. I'll probably start recording right away. So yeah, if you have any questions, comment down below. I'll try to get notified somehow. YouTube removed notifications on the comments, so I have to check back myself every now and then. So yeah, bye.